Hello, this is Michael Cassidy. I've done eBay for over the last 4 or 5 years. Been pretty successful in some of the things that I've done. I haven't done as much of it right lately, but musical instruments have been my specialty, although I've actually reached out to the Habitat for Humanity places and places like that, and able to buy in bulk a few things from them that they'd received there that couldn't sell right in the store so easily. Hard to sell items in the store, which there was a market for outside the store, like on eBay. There's always somebody wanting the product you have. I was able to buy, good friends with one of the fellows, and able to buy at a pretty good price, which they would come in and somebody else came in, they would have sold it. He was a pretty honest type fellow, so he would have sold anybody else for that same price. So everybody's got a little chance at it. But I was able to continually list it over and over and over. I have to write that listing again, and I was successful with that because I could just put it right back on again, and I made a few bucks with that over the years. Good extra income, great extra income. Seems like to me when you have a bill ready, waiting on you, you got some money for it most times if you mess with eBay a little bit, and extra money if you need it, make a car payment or whatever it might be. What you do is get out and you hit the yard sales. You look for hard to find items, especially. You look for musical instruments, trumpets, saxophones. Leave your fiddles alone unless you run up with something that's really old. This new model stuff, you can buy them a dime a dozen, and they just don't sell. There's thousands of them on eBay. If you get anything that's overpopulated, everybody wants to play a fiddle and nobody can play it. That's the problem. Everybody buys one of them, but nobody can ever really play it. One out of several hundred really get good at it, or one out of 1,000 might get good at playing a fiddle if he tries it. So it's a really hard instrument to master. But if you can find USA made musical instruments, you're going to be more successful. Fender electric guitars, USA made. If you can find something older, even a pickup, even the tuners, even whatever it is, you're going to be successful with that. Find a Martin guitar, acoustic. Most of those Martin guitars are acoustic. That's bluegrass instruments. If you can find one before 1968, a Brazilian rosewood, they're worth 2 or 3 times the money one made in 1970 is. Somehow or another, this Brazilian rosewood has become maybe not illegal, but maybe they got some different bans on it as far as bringing it in. They think it's endangered or something. Anyway, it's got a real boomy sound, a real bass type sound, a beautiful sound. If you hear that guitar beside another one, you know the difference. If you can find one of those Martin guitars acoustic before 1968, if you can find one in the 40s, a D28 Martin, or around that time, you're going to really bring thousands of dollars. So they're out there. You just got to get out and find it. Any kind of pickups, anything like that goes in electric guitars. You can find some of the other ones. You know, you might find a Fender electric guitar that's made in Taiwan or something like that. It's going to be worth $80. It looks like the other one, except it doesn't say made in USA. It looks similar. There's a difference in it, but it looks a lot like it. It's just a cheap type guitar. I don't know why they did that. The company did, but I reckon they mass produce them and mass sell them. So, but there's money to be made. Old guitar case, an old clock ready, old advertisement radio. I know I saw a Dr. Pepper radio advertisement, just a wooden box, looked like the Boy Scouts made it, just a little small box, you know, so big, with Dr. Pepper on it. It was mass produced, one of the first kitchen type clocks. It was an advertisement clock, not many of them around. Things they sell for $800 to $1,000, $1,500. I saw them on eBay. If you can find one of those, you might go to the yard sale and buy that thing for $5. So there's different things. Stay away from NASCAR things. Stay away from. There's just so many of them on there. So much of it on there. You have to really find something. You're going to pay some fees for messing with eBay. It's going to cost you PayPal. But now your money is secure. And let me say, if you are a buyer on eBay, you are especially covered because you can always get your money back. Let me say this: when you sell a product to somebody, a lot of times they're going to say it's damaged, and they want you to give them $50 back. Just tell them to send it on back for a full refund. And most time you'll never see it. You know why? Because it's not damaged. Now some of them are damaged and send it back to you too. So, but most of the time you're pretty well clear. You got feedback. It keeps you honest. Don't worry about your transactions on eBay. You want to keep 100%. So far I've kept 100% and I've been a power seller over the years, and so you can make money with it. You just got to be cautious about what you buy. Don't buy everything you see. Go back and check it out. But now, I know one time we were looking at bass, bull bass, big old instruments, hard to ship, but we just couldn't find it on there what we were looking for, and didn't see what it would bring, and it was a real good buy. We were able to make a few $100 on it. But so there's money out there to be made, but you got to get out there and look at your eBay listing, look at completed listings. If you can find completed listings, it'll actually show you what other items like that sold for. What I used to do is just, what I've done mostly is, if I find a product that everybody's got and I know they're selling, I look and see what they're selling for. If it's selling for $300 and it looks like my instrument, just the same numbers and everything, I sell it for around $295, maybe with free shipping, or $300. If I can clear $100 on it after I pay my fees, or $50, I list it and put it on there a little bit cheaper. And so people, and if it looks as good as the other ones, if there's no scratches on it, they'll probably pick that one over somebody else. So I put a buy now price. You could put a bid on it, but now something like a nice instrument, you want to put a bid on. You want to let people bid on it, but also have a least amount you'll take for it. Or either start it out about what you would be willing to take for it. Start it out about that price in case you don't get any more than that. But more than likely, if it's a real choice type instrument, you'd probably find, get your money back. But you can look and see an instrument like what you've got and price it by now if it's just a common type instrument. But you can get out, and I put signs out in different places asking people to bring instruments to me. But cover yourself by having them to sign a paper, say this is their instrument, they're selling it to you. And so you'll be covered in case something happened, because you could accidentally buy something. Talk to them and ask them, can we carry this to the sheriff's department and show it to them? Would it be okay to show it to them? Can I call them right now and ask them, do you have a good record? There's ways you can, if they act like they want to deal with you, let them go on. Don't mess with them, because it's not worthwhile messing around with something hot. So that's the problem you could run into with that. So, but if you buy from something like a Habitat for Humanity, it's clear. Or go to an auction sale, it should be clear when you buy it from there, because you're in a public setting buying, and you can buy that from them now. I haven't been listening to as many things right lately, but I've been busy with my barber business here and putting a lot of stuff up on YouTube. But it's a lot of enjoyment to be successful with it, and to make extra money with it. I know you could buy a piece of land or something maybe and pay for it, and look back in 10 or 15 years from now after you paid for something with that, what you made off of the earnings you made off of eBay, and you'd be real proud of yourself to look back and see what you've done. So if you want to do good in eBay, you can do it, but they are expensive. It is high, and they cover the people that are buying better than the people that are selling. Most time they can just take the money right out of your account pretty easy to pay somebody back. So if they just have I know one time I sent a guitar off, and I said, look at this guitar, make sure there's nothing wrong with it. We packed it up. I mean, a nice guitar, like $1,000 guitar, $1,200. And I said, is there any scratches on this guitar at all? And they looked at the face of it, nothing wrong with it. Well, when it got there, it's got a ding on it. It's not what you said it was. It was all made up because whoever it was didn't want that guitar. He made up a bunch of stories, and there was a ding on it when he sent it back, because they put a ding on it. But so you might run into that. But I still was able to sell it and get my money back out of it. And they're covering the sellers, the people buying. The sellers kind of up in there. But you still will make money on it. But describe your product completely. Take as many pictures as you can take of it. Describe your product completely. Don't leave anything out. Matter of fact, you need to make it sound a little bit worse than what it is. And then when they call you back, you say, well, I described it. I know I've sent products off before. I've sold them. I said, it's missing parts. Here's what's here. Here's what's with the thing. And they bought it at a good price. When they knew the pieces went with it, I showed them. I said, well, it's missing a hopper. It doesn't have a hopper with it. I said, that's right. I said, you saw what was with it when you got it. And I never heard anything. He wanted me to give him money back. But he knew the hopper wasn't with it to start with. He knew he was going to buy other parts for it. So, peanut grinder. Make peanut butter with it. That's what it was. So they know when you describe it completely and they'll always ask for money back. But what you do is say, I'll give you a full refund back. So if you do that, they will never hear from them most of the time. But get you some good boxes, order them from Uline. Order you some good boxes if you have a certain type thing you're selling. Get you some good packing material where your instrument or whatever you're selling there will get there. So you can do good with eBay. You will be successful with it. Get out and buy your stuff right. You can't overpay for it. You got to buy it reasonable. But yard sale's a good place to start. But you got to have something you can ship. Saxophone, trumpet, mandolin. Those are good selling items, especially if you can get something that's older. If you can get a Japanese-made guitar, a Mexican-made guitar, they older, they sell pretty good. But then again, you got to buy it right. You got to buy it reasonable. A USA made, go for that. Anything USA, and common instruments too, if they're well made. If you can buy it reasonable, you can turn a profit on it. But you got to buy it reasonable, and you need to check before you put money in somebody's hand. You need to check a completely list and see what they're asking for them and see what they've sold for. And so your instrument will sell again for what it sold for, the last 5 or 10 sold for on there. Your instrument will sell around that price too. If that sold, yours will sell also. So that's kind of what you know about eBay. And what I know about eBay is, and you'll be successful with it. Just hang in there and give it a try, and get your stuff set up, and you'll be successful. I'm Michael Cassidy, just sharing with you a little bit about eBay. Thank you so much. Bye.